Hello students, welcome to ICS Mahesh PU College Dharwad. In today's session, we will discuss Karnataka CET examination 2020 physics questions. Okay, so I have divided the 60 questions into 3 parts. Okay, in each part I am going to discuss 20 questions. Okay, so we will discuss one by one. I will use the mobile for my reference of questions. Okay, and on the screen you can watch the questions. We will start the questions now. See the first one. In the first question, they have given the value of acceleration due to gravity at a height of 10 km from the surface of the earth is x. At what depth inside the earth is the value of the acceleration due to gravity has the same value of x. Okay, so in this question, what they have given here is, so here this is this earth. Okay, from the surface of the earth, so here I will take one certain height. So this is the height they have given, and the value of height they have, what they have given here is 10 kilometer. So h is equal to 10 kilometer. At 10 kilometer height, what is the value of acceleration due to gravity? That is x. Okay, now they are saying at what distance, means at what depth. Okay, so the value of acceleration is same, means here also the value of acceleration due to gravity is x, but we have to calculate what is the value of d here. Okay, so depth you need to calculate. So now we can apply the formula for the acceleration due to gravity above the surface of the earth and below the surface of the earth. Okay, so here we know this formula, gh is equal to, okay, gh is equal to g into 1 minus 2h by r. Okay, this is one formula above the surface of the earth, and another formula we are having, gd is equal to g into 1 minus d by r. Okay, so these two formulas we are having. Now what they have told, at certain distance this acceleration due to gravity is same. So according to the condition given in the question, so we can write gh is equal to gd. Okay, gh is equal to gd. So you just equate them. So here it is gh is g into 1 minus 2h by r. Okay, and here g into 1 minus d by r. Okay, so here gg get cancelled. Okay, gg get cancelled. Here we left with 1 minus 2h by r and 1 minus d by r. So by taking the LCM here, this is r minus 2h divided by r, and here it is r minus d divided by r. Okay, so here r both get cancelled. Okay, and here if you take this r to the LHS, so then this r also get cancelled. So then you left with d is equal to 2 times of h. Minus minus also get cancelled. So you left with d is equal to 2 times of h. Already the value of h they have given. So here d is equal to 20 kilometer. So this is your answer. So in the question, you can choose the option B there. Okay, that is your answer. We'll go to the next one. Yes, see the question. Young's modulus of a perfect rigid body is, okay, Young's modulus of a perfect rigid body is 0, unity, infinity, and between 0 and unity they have given. Okay, so here Young's modulus, whenever we discuss, so what is the formula we are having? Okay, what is the formula we are having for Young's modulus? Y is equal to F upon A into L divided by delta L. This is the formula we will use for Young's modulus. Okay, but in the question they have given, it is perfect rigid body. So according to that, in perfect rigid body, what about deformation? Deformation is 0. Okay, there will be no deformation. So deformation is 0. As the deformation is 0, what about the change in length here? So change in length, that is delta L is equal to 0. Okay, you will get delta L is equal to 0. If you put the value of delta L is equal to 0, then what about this y? Y is equal to infinity. That's it. This is your answer. So you can choose C there. We'll go to the next one. A wheel starting from rest gains an angular velocity of 10 radian per second. after uniformly accelerated for 5 seconds. The total angle through which it has turned is, okay. So here angular velocity they have given, okay. So they have told started from rest, okay. They have given started from rest. So take the third question there. So it is omega 1 is equal to 0 because it has started from rest. But what about omega 2? Omega 2, it is 10 radian per second, okay. Now to calculate the angle here, what is the angle it has been created there? So we are having the formula theta is equal to omega into t, okay. Theta is equal to omega into t. That formula we can go through. So here, but 2 omegas we have, so you have to take the average of that, average. So here omega 1 plus omega 2 divided by 2, this is your omega, into t. What is t they have given? In the question they have told 5 seconds. Time is 5 seconds. So it is into 5 seconds. So this is your time. So then it is 0 plus 10 divided by 2 into 5. Okay. So it is 2 divided by 10 divided by 5. You will get 5. So it is 25 radian. That's it. This is your answer. Okay. So radian you have got. So how much you are getting? There is 25 radian. So there in the option they have given 25 radian and 25 radian. Okay. So don't get 25 pi radian. So option 1 is your answer there. We'll go to the next one. Yes. So this is a pretty interesting one. Iceberg floats on water with a part of it submerged. What is the fraction of the volume of iceberg submerged if the density of ice is? Okay. Now here in this question, in the fourth question, what has happened? Say for example, this is the surface of water. Okay, this is the surface of water. On the surface of water, you have iceberg is submerged. Iceberg is submerged. So some part of the ice is linked with the surface of the water. So the ice which is present here, this will be converted into liquid. Okay, this will be converted into liquid. So now in this question, they have given the density of ice they have given. Okay, how much they have given? So density of ice is 0.917. Okay, 0.917 per cubic centimeter cube. Okay, now how you will calculate here? See, what is the fraction they are asking? Okay, they are asking you to calculate the fraction there. So fraction of what? Volume and fraction of volume related to the density. So here in this problem, we can use the formula there. That is VI, okay, volume of the ice into density of the ice. Okay, which is equal to volume of the liquid after submerging with the water and volume of the liquid into density of the liquid. Okay, but what they are asking you to calculate, what is the fraction of the volume of iceberg submerged? So you need to calculate here VL by VI. So then VL divided by VI is equal to rho I divided by rho L. Okay, that's it. Now density of the ice they have given. How much they have given? It is 0.917. Note it, 0.917. But we don't know what is the density of the liquid there. So here density of water, how much it is? It is 1000 kg per meter cube. Okay. So if you are writing in terms of per centimeter cube, then how much it is? It is 1. So what is your answer? It is 0.917. Okay, 0.917 centimeter cube. So what is your answer there? Okay, ratio you are getting. So there will be no unit there. So option A is your answer. Okay, we'll go to the next one. Yes, see the next question. A sphere, a cube, and a thin circular plate, all of same material and some mass initially, heated to same high temperature, allowed to cool down under similar conditions. Then the first option they have given the plate will cool the fastest and the cube is slowest. So 3 materials they have given. One is a sphere. Okay. So which question it is? Fifth one. Okay. So they have given sphere. So this is the sphere. And another one they have given cube. Okay. So cube they have given. And third one is plate they have given. Okay. Plate they have given. So energy is liberating from all these 3 materials. Okay. Energy is liberating from all these 3 materials. But which material will cool fast? Okay. Which material will cool fast? So now if you go through with that, the energy radiated, okay, or the radiant energy is directly proportional to what? Area. Okay. Radiant energy, or I can write it as E, energy. So E is directly proportional to A, means the radiated energy is directly proportional to area. So larger the area, here, larger the area, larger will be the radiation. Okay. So smaller the area, smaller will be the radiation. Now if you compare sphere, cube and plate, so which is having larger area here? So the plate is having larger area. Okay. Circular plate is having larger area. Okay. And if you compare sphere and cube, this cube is having a medium area. Okay. And cube is having medium area, and sphere. So the surface area of that is smaller. Okay. So larger the area, larger the radiation. So it will cool fast. So which will cool fast here? So plate will cool faster and sphere will cool slower. So which option you will choose here? So A, B, C, yes, C option you can choose here. Plate will cool the fastest and the sphere is slowest. Okay. Yes, go to the next one. Yes, see the next one. In 6th question, in an adiabatic expansion of an ideal gas, the product of pressure and volume. Okay, pressure and volume. Now, in the 6th question, they are asking about the adiabatic process here. In the adiabatic, we know the ideal gas equation, that is PV is equal to nRT. Okay, we are having this ideal gas equation. In adiabatic process, if I take a cylinder, see here, if I take a cylinder, so this is the piston. Okay, this is the piston. If this piston is moving upward, then there is the expansion of gas. Okay, there is an expansion of gas. So as it expands, so then what about the temperature there? Okay, as it expands, the temperature decreases. So here PV is directly proportional to the temperature. Okay, so as temperature decreases, the product that is pressure and volume, that also decreases. So very simple question it is. So here the option A you can choose. Yes, we'll go to the next one. Yes, a certain amount of heat energy is supplied to a monoatomic ideal gas which expands at a constant pressure. What fraction of the heat energy is converted into work? Okay, what amount of heat energy is converted into work? So here the key point is they have given monoatomic gas. Okay, so work done, while you are writing the work done, so it is dW divided by dt. Okay, dW divided by dt. What is the formula you are using here? It is dW by dt is equal to 1 minus 1 by gamma. Okay, 1 minus 1 by gamma. So as they have given it is monoatomic gas, what is the value of gamma there? Okay, for monoatomic gas, the value of gamma is 5 by 3. Okay, 5 by 3, use that. So here it is 1 divided by 5 by 3. Okay, so it is, when you calculate that, you are getting 5 minus 3 by 2. So it is 5 minus 3 divided by 5. So you are getting 2 by 5. Okay, so that will be your answer. So 2 by 5, option C, you can choose that. Okay, very simple problem it is. Yes, we'll go to the next one. Yes, see the next one. This question has asked many times. Okay, a tray of mass 12 kg is supported by 2 identical springs. You just go through with the question. I will just draw that one. So here you are having the tray. Okay, this tray is weighing how much? 12 kg mass they have given. So for this, two springs are hanging. Okay, so here two springs they have given, and they have told identical springs. As they are identical springs, what is the spring constant? I will take it as K. Okay, I will take it as K. Yes, how they are connected, that also one important point here, how those springs are connected. So when you see the diagram, the springs are connected in parallel. Okay, the springs are connected in parallel. As they are connected in parallel, you have to calculate the effective spring constant. Okay, you have to calculate the effective spring constant. See, they are connected in parallel. So mass they have given 12 kg. Okay, effective spring constant, that is K effective, is equal to, when they are connected in parallel, they are added like K1 plus K2. So it is K plus K, as they are identical. So what is the effective spring constant? You are getting 2K. You are getting 2K. If they are connected in series, then it is K1 into K2 divided by K1 into K2 divided by K1 plus K2. That is the formula you are using. But as they are connected in parallel, it is K plus K. Okay. Now, what is the formula you are using? See what they are asking you to calculate. Okay. What they are asking you to calculate? When the tray is pressed down slightly and then released, it executes simple harmonic motion with a time period of 1.5 seconds. Already T they have given. So here you will use the formula T is equal to 2 pi into root of m by K. Okay, here K is effective. Okay. Now, what is the value of T? It is 1.5. Okay, so it is 2 pi into root of, what is m? It is 12. Effective K. So how much it is? It is 2 times of K. 2 times of K. Okay. Now, I will write this 1.5 as 3 by 2 for our simplicity. Okay, if I take this root here, then it will be 9 by 4. 9 by 4 is equal to 2 pi. It is 4 pi square. Okay, 4 pi square into 12 by 2K. Okay, 12 by 2K. Now here, so this is 3 3s are, okay, 3 4s are. If you take this K here, so this is K is equal to 4 4s are 16. Okay, or something, any other else we can cancel out. Here 2 1s are, so here 2 2s are, we can cancel out. Yes, 2 4s are 8, 8 4s are 32. So it is 32 pi square divided by 3. Okay, 32 pi square divided by 3. Now pi square, value of pi is 3.142. Pi square means multiply, square you are getting. So on our average, approximately value you are getting it as 10. So consider it as 10. Pi square is 10. So it is 32 into 10 divided by 3. Okay, so something around 320 divided by 3. So 300 divided by 3 is 100 you are getting. Okay, so which will be the nearest answer there? So it is 105. So you can choose that value. It is 105. Okay, 105 Newton per meter. So this is your answer. Okay, so many times this question has asked in competitive exams. Okay, yes, we'll go to the next one. Yes, please read this question. The next question is based on Doppler effect. Okay, so here this is conceptual question. A train whistling at constant frequency n is moving towards a station at a constant speed v. The train goes past a stationary observer on the station. The frequency n of the sound as heard by the observer is plotted as a function of time. Okay, identify the correct curve. So here we'll write the equation for that. Okay, we know the formula. Okay, we will write the formula, then we will come to the conclusion which graph will suits here. Okay, now they have told train is moving with a constant speed. Okay, train is moving with constant speed, but the listener who is present at the station, he is not moving. Okay, he is not moving. So here velocity of sound I will take. Okay, velocity of sound, that I will take it as v. Velocity of train, which is our source, so I will take it as vs. And velocity of listener or observer, okay, listener or observer, we will take it as vl. Okay, but he is he is at rest there, so his velocity is 0. Okay, and frequency of train, means train sound, that they have given, it is a n. Now what is the apparent frequency which he is hearing? Apparent frequency. Okay, so that I will take it as n dash. So there are two cases here. One is train is approaching to the listener. So if I consider that condition, see, source is here, and listener is here. Okay, he is the listener. Now source is moving, means train is moving towards the listener. Okay, source is moving towards the listener with what velocity? It is vs. As the train is moving towards the listener, that I will consider it as positive. Okay, that I will take it as positive. It is plus vs. Now listener, okay, listener is at rest, so it is vl is equal to 0. This is our case 1. Okay, what is happening in case 1? In case 1, yes, apply the formula. Apparent frequency n dash is equal to, what is the formula we are having? N dash is equal to v plus vl divided by, okay, v plus vl divided by, so here, see here, it is, he is moving along the direction, so it is v minus vs into n. So this is the first case what we are getting. Okay, now in the second case, after reaching to the station, the train is passing. Okay, it is moving forward. So as it moves forward, its frequency compared to that of listener decreases. So here, see, the train is passing the listener. Okay, so here the source has come here. That name I will write it as s dash. Okay, the name I will write it as s dash. But here the source is moving away from the listener. Okay, as it is moving away from the listener, so I will take the velocity of the source as negative because it is moving away from the source. So then it is n double dash is equal to v plus vl divided by v minus of vs. Okay, minus of vs into n. So here in both the cases, what about VL? VL is 0. Okay, VL is 0. So what you are getting here? It is V divided by V minus Vs into n. Okay, and in this case, V divided by, it is minus into minus plus, so it is V. Okay, so here V divided by, yes, V divided by V plus Vs into n. Now you observe both the cases here. In the denominator it is V minus Vs. Okay, here in denominator it is V plus Vs. So if you plot the graph here, okay, function of time. So this is the frequency n, and here it is with respect to time. When the train is approaching the listener, the frequency is maximum. See here, it is V minus Vs. In the denominator you are having lesser value, so the frequency will be higher. Okay, here train is moving with constant velocity, so frequency is constantly, it is coming like this. Okay, but when it reaches the station, its frequency decreases. Okay, its frequency decreases. Now when it passes from the station, then again its frequency goes on decreases. Yes, this is the graph you can choose here. So option D is the suitable answer here. Yes, it is a conceptual question. Check it out. Yes, we'll go to the next one. Yes, another important question. A point charge q is placed at the corner of a cube of side A as shown in the figure. What is the electric flux through the face ABCD? Yes, they have given q. Okay. Yes, they have given cube. In this cube, A, B, C, D, they have given. So this is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Okay. Now, what is the flux of the total cube there? Okay, what is the flux of the total cube? That is phi. Okay, that is phi. The flux of the total cube is phi. And we know the formula, phi is equal to q by epsilon naught. Okay, phi is equal to electric flux, phi is equal to q divided by epsilon naught. But in the problem, they are asking you to calculate the flux of only one phase, that is ABCD. Okay, ABCD. But how many phases are present? How many phases are present in the cube? See here, this is the front phase, this is 1, okay, this is side phase, 2, 3, bottom phase, 4, 5, and back side phase, so that is 6. So how many phases are there? Total 6 phases are there. Okay, total 6 phases are there. So what is the flux of the total cube? It is phi is equal to q divided by epsilon naught. Okay, but what is the flux of only one phase there? Only one phase. So if I calculate phi of ABCD, okay, is equal to in total flux divide into 6. So it is a phi by 6. Okay, so it is a phi by 6. So now what is the formula we are having? It is q. Okay, it is q, it is phi. So in this formula, if you put the value of this phi, so what is phi we have got here? It is q divided by epsilon naught divided by 6. Okay, then what is the flux of the phase ABCD? You can read it as q divided by 6 epsilon naught. Okay, q divided by 6 epsilon naught. So that is the simple solution for that. Option 3 is the answer. Okay, yes, we'll go to the next one. Yes, see the next question. Yes, in the next question, again it is a theoretical question. The electric field lines on the left have twice the separation on those on the right as shown in figure. If the magnitude of the field at A is 40 volt per meter, what is the force on 20 microcoulomb charge kept at B? Okay, now see here. So this is the 11th question we are discussing. Okay, so this is the electric field lines on the left side. Okay, now when they are coming here, their separation becomes half. Okay, their separation becomes half compared to left side. On the right side, their separation becomes half. Now they have kept one point at A. Okay, and here it is a B. Here it is B. Okay, now on the A, what is the electric field they have given? E is equal to 40 volt per meter. Okay, and the charge they have given, okay, charge they have given, that is q is equal to 20 microcoulomb. 20 microcoulomb. Now they are asking you to calculate what is the force on 20 microcoulomb charge kept at B, not at A. Okay, now if you discuss this question, okay, now here the separation is more, here the separation is less. In the question they have given the electric field lines on the left have twice the separation. Okay, so if more crowded electric field lines are there, more will be the electric field. Less crowded electric field lines are there, less will be the electric field. Okay, so as the separation is twice, what about the electric field? Electric field will be half. Okay, so what you are calculating here? Force. So force on this charge kept at B. So what is the formula you are using? F is equal to Q into E. Okay, F is equal to Q into E. What is the charge? It is 20 microcoulomb. It is 10 raised to minus 6. But what about E? What about E? Don't be in a hurry to use that value, that is 40 volt meter per 40 volt per meter. You can't use the 40 there, okay, because you are not you have not kept the charge at A. Instead of A, you have kept the charge at B. That's why the value of electric field there decreases by half. So instead of 40, you have to take it as 20. So it is 20 volt per meter. So it is 20 into 20. So it is 40 into 10 raised to minus 6 should be your answer. But if you see the options there, they have given in terms of 10 raised to minus 4. So you can write the same as 40, sorry, it is 400. It is 400. So you can write it as 4 into 10 raised to minus 4 is your answer. So which option you will choose here? So it is option A. Okay. Yes. Go to the next one. Yes. See the next one. An infinitely long thin straight wire has uniform charge density of 1/4 into 10 raised to minus 2 per centimeter. What is the magnitude of electric field at a distance 20 centimeter from the axis of the wire? Okay. Yes. Here in this question, you are having a thin straight wire. You are having the thin straight wire. Okay. And if you draw the Gaussian surface to this, so this is the Gaussian surface. Yes, somewhere around here you have kept one point P, okay, and you are calculating the electric field at this distance. So this distance is R, okay, this distance is R. Now they have given the value of R there. So what is the value of R? R is equal to 20 centimeter, okay, R is equal to 20 centimeter. And what is the linear charge density, uniform charge density they have given? Okay, that is lambda is equal to 1/4 into 10 raised to minus 2, okay, 10 raised to minus 2 per centimeter, okay, per centimeter. Now, what you have to calculate here? You need to calculate, see what you have to calculate there. An infinitely long thin straight wire has uniform charge density of some value they have given. What is the magnitude of electric field? E you have to calculate. So what is the formula you are using there? E is equal to lambda divided by 2 pi epsilon naught into R. Okay. E is equal to lambda divided by 2 pi epsilon naught into R. This is the formula we are using. Already they have given the value of lambda. Okay. Already they have given the value of lambda. So what is that? 1/4 into 10 raised to minus 2. But here 2 pi epsilon naught, you have to individually put the values. Instead of that, you can use the shortcut here. We know the value of 1/4 pi epsilon naught. Okay, 1/4 pi epsilon naught. How much it is? It is 9 into 10 raised to 9. So what do? You just multiply and divide by 2 for this. So then it will be 2 lambda divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into R. So it will be very easy for you. Now put the value. So it is E is equal to 2 into, see, 1/4 pi epsilon naught. Take the value of that. It is 9 into 10 raised to 9. 9 into 10 raised to 9 into, now you take the value of lambda. So what is the value of lambda here? It is 1/4 into 10 raised to minus 2. Okay. And what is the value of R? It is 20 centimeter. So as it is 20 centimeter into 20 into 10 raised to minus 2. Okay. Yes, calculate it. See how much you will get there. We'll go to the next one. Calculate the value. So as it is 10 raised to 9, okay, if you calculate that, you will get around 2.25 into 10 raised to 8. Okay, you just calculate that. Its value will be 2.25 into 10 raised to 8 Newton per Coulomb. So this will be the value what you are getting. Okay. Yes, please do that. Yes, we'll go to the next one. Yes, see the next question. The 13th question, when you see a dipole moment P and a moment of inertia is I is placed in a uniform electric field E. If it is displaced slightly from its stable equilibrium position, the period of oscillation of dipole is. It is direct question. Okay, so there is nothing to worry about that. So it is a direct question there. So it is T is equal to 2.2 root of I by PE. Option B is the answer there. If it is kept in the magnetic field, so then it will be T is equal to 2.2 root of I by MB. Okay, but here it is electric field, so it is T is equal to 2.2 root of I by PE. Option B is your answer. So direct question it is. Okay, let's see the next one. The difference between equivalent capacitances of two identical capacitors connected in parallel to that in series is 6 microfarad. The value of capacitance of each capacitor is. Yes, this is a pretty tricky one. Okay, so here in this question, so two capacitors are there, but how they are? They are identical capacitors. Okay, they are identical capacitors. So now what they have given? CP minus CS. Okay, CP minus CS, how much they have given? It is 6 microfarad. Okay, CP minus CS. See, they have given difference. They have given difference there. So it is CP minus CB is equal to 6 microfarad. Now, when the two capacitors are connected in parallel, see, they are identical. So what you will get here? C1 plus C2. So it will be 2C. Okay, and CS. So two capacitors are connected in series. Okay, so that you will get C by 2. Okay, that you will get C by 2. So put the value here. It is 2C minus C by 2 is equal to 6. Okay, so if you take the LCM here, it is 4C minus C divided by 2 is equal to 6. So it is a 3C divided by 2 is equal to 6. So 3 ones are, 3 twos are. So C is equal to 4 microfarad. That should be your answer. Okay, the value of C is 4 microfarad. Yes, we'll go to the next one. Yes, see the next question. Yes, in this question, if you observe the diagram there, figure shows 3 points A, B and C in a region of uniform electric field E. Okay, so please go through with the question. I will just draw that. So these are the electric field lines. Okay, in this electric field lines, they have kept 3 points. They have kept 3 points A, B, C. So A point is here. Okay, B point is here, and a C point is here. Okay, I will join these 2 points. Now, what is the question? The line AB is perpendicular to perpendicular and BC is parallel to the field lines. Then which of the following holds good? Okay, 4 options they have given. So which of the option holds good there? What is the basic property or basic concept of electric field line? Says electric field line starts from positive charge and they ends at a negative charge. Okay, so here they are coming from positive charge. They are coming from positive charge, and where they are going? They are going towards the negative charge. It means that the region from where they are started, that is at a higher potential. Okay, that is at a higher potential, and where they are going and reaching, so that is at a lower potential. Okay, that is at lower potential. Now, if you observe the points A and B, they are exactly placed in this same line. Okay, so what is the potential at A? The same potential you will get at B. So therefore, I can write it as VA, potential at A is equal to potential of B. Okay, VA is equal to VB. But what about C there? What about C? So C is moving towards the lower potential. So the potential at V will be, C will be lesser. So I can write this relation. VA is equal to VB. Okay, but these two are greater than VC. So which option you will choose there? Okay, so option B is your answer. Okay, go to the next one. Yes, when a soap bubble is charged, when a soap bubble is charged, first option, its radius increases, its radius decreases, the radius remains the same, its radius may increase or decrease. Okay, as it is a soap bubble, okay, on the surface of the soap bubble there are many charges. Okay, many charges are there. So when you charge it, okay, when you apply the external energy and when you are charging it, so there will be a force of repulsion. Okay, due to the force of repulsion, its size goes on increases. Okay, its size goes on increases. As the size increases, what about the radius? Radius also increases. Okay, yes, option A is your answer there. Yes. Let's go to the next one. A hot filament liberates an electron with zero initial velocity. The anode potential is 1200 volt. The speed of the electron when it strikes the anode is. So what you have to calculate here? You have to calculate the speed of the electron when it strikes the anode. So if you go to this concept, okay, if you go to this concept, 17th question. So what is the formula you will use here? See, they have given potential. So that I will take here, that is V, capital V I have taken. It is 1200 volts. Okay, 1200 volt. And any other values they have given in the question? Okay, nothing. So small v you have to calculate. Okay, what is that? It is the speed of the electron. Okay, which formula you will use here? Half mv square is equal to q into v. This is the formula we can use here. Half mv square is equal to q into v. Now v square is equal to 2qv divided by m. Okay, so v square is equal to 2qv divided by m. Put the values here. So it is a 2 into what is the value of q? 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. Okay, v value they have given, it is at 1200. Okay, so divided by m, mass of the electron, it is 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31. Okay, yes, this is the value you are getting. So if you calculate it, so it is a 2 into 1.6, okay, into 1200. So if you calculate it, something around, so v square is equal to 2 into 1.6, it is 3.2 into 12. So if you calculate that, so something around 422 you will get, and 10 raised to minus 31, if you take it to the numerator, it will become plus. So it is minus 19. So here it is a 10 raised to 12 you will get, 10 raised to 12. Okay, so if you take the square root of that, so v is equal to, so 400, it is square root of 20. So you will get around 21 something. Okay, so 21 something you will get. So which will be the suitable answer here? 21 into 10 raised to half of that, it is 6. Okay, if you see the options, it is in terms of 10 raised to 7. So you can take it as 2.1 into 10 raised to 7. That will be your answer. Okay, so as it is velocity, it is meter per second. Yes, this is the answer. So option C is your answer there. Mark it. We'll go to the next one. Yes. You see the next question. A metal rod of length 10 centimeter and a rectangular cross section of 1 centimeter into half centimeter is connected to a battery across opposite faces. Okay, the resistance will be maximum when. So they have given when will be the resistance maximum, that they are asking. So when you go to the conductors, okay, the resistance of the conductor is proportional to, R is proportional to L upon A. Okay, R is proportional to L upon A. This is the formula we are having. R is equal to rho L upon A. Okay, so on the basis of this, if you calculate, see the first option, in the first option they have given, it is 1 centimeter into half centimeter. Okay, so how much you will get here? It is 0.5 centimeter square. Okay, if you calculate the area here. Next, second option if you take, it is 10 centimeter into half centimeter. Okay, so how much you will get here? It is 5 centimeter square. Okay, and if you choose option 3 there, so it is 10 centimeter into half centimeter. So second one is, okay, it is 1 centimeter, 10 centimeter into 1 centimeter. So how much you are getting? 10 centimeter square. And fourth option, if you take maximum when the battery is connected across 10 centimeter, same irrespective of the three phases, fourth option. Okay, now leave that fourth option because they have given same irrespective of the three phases. They have told it will not be same as the length or area changes. According to that, resistance will change there. Okay, so if you compare these three, see the formula here, lesser the area, larger will be the resistance. Okay, because they are inversely proportional. So in which option you are having lesser area there? So 0.5, 5 and 10 here. So 0.5 is the smaller area. So as the smaller area, so you will get the more resistance there. So option A should be your answer. Okay, again it is a theoretical question. Okay, yes, go to the next one. Yes, see the next one. A car has a fresh storage battery of EMF 12 volt and internal resistance 2 into 10 raised to minus 2 ohm. So fresh storage battery they have told. Okay, fresh storage battery of EMF. So how much it is? E is equal to 12 volt and its internal resistance is R is equal to how much? 2 into 10 raised to minus 2 ohm. Okay. If the starter motor draws a current of 80 ampere, okay, so motor is drawing 80 amperes of current, then the terminal voltage of the starter is terminal potential difference. So that is V you have to calculate. Very simple question it is. Okay, so how you calculate that? We have the formula V is equal to E minus I into R. Okay, V is equal to E minus I into R. So here V always E should be greater than V here. So what is the value of E they have given? It is 12 volt minus I. It is 80 into 2 into 10 raised to minus 2. Okay, so here 80 into 2 means it is 160. 160 into 10 raised to minus 2. It means 1.6. So it is a 12 minus how much you are getting there? So it is 10, 1.6 you are getting. So how much you will get here? 10.4 volt. This should be your answer. Okay, it was a 16, so it is 160 you are getting. It is into 10 raised to minus 2, so you will get 1.6. So the terminal potential difference, what you will get there? It is 10.4. So which option you will choose there? It is option C, 10.4 volt. Yes, we'll go to the next one. Yes. Okay, guys, see the next question. A potentiometer has a uniform wire of length 5 meter. Okay, so they have given the question based on potentiometer. In the potentiometer, we are having two values of EMF, two values of length. Okay, so a potentiometer has a uniform wire of length 5 meter. That I will take it as L1. So L1 is equal to how much? 5 meter. Okay, a battery of EMF 10 volt. So E1 is equal to 10 volt. And negligible internal resistance R is equal to 0 is connected between its ends. A secondary cell connected to the circuit gives a balancing length at 200 centimeter. Already they have given in terms of meter, so that I will take L2 is equal to 200 centimeter means it is 2 meter. Okay, the EMF of the secondary of the cell is, so what you have to calculate here is E2. Okay, what is the value of E2. So here E2 by E1 is equal to L2 by L1. Okay, very simple formula here. So here E2 is equal to, what is the value of E1? It is 10. I will take it here. It is 10 into, what is the value of L2? It is 2. Okay, and L1 is 5. So it is 5 ones are, 5 twos are. So how much you are getting here is 4 volts. So here option A is your answer. Okay, so this is it from part 1. Okay, so thank you students. So in the next session we will continue with the next part questions. Thank you all of you.